You know what this ending felt like, right? It felt like a beginning to a new thing that's going to come. If you know what I mean. So what I'm trying to say is like this book, or shall I say, these three books, felt like a prologue to a massive thing that's going to come. Cause I don't know, man. Cause I don't know. I feel like we've accomplished our goal by the end of the book, but at the same time we didn't. It's mad, but without further ado, let's get straight into this review, right? Nynaeve, she is still like what's it called, trying to hunt down the Black Argers with the three girls. And remember the last part when they hide this guy called Julian Sander or Sander Julian? I'm not sure which way it is, but anyway. So she finds this guy in the market or something like that, and this guy seems very suspicious, cuz bro, he is incredibly sus, bro, and I'm not sure what's going on with him. And Nynaeve kind of noticed, but she kind of didn't think too much with it. And Julian was like, listen, I think I found them, but you have to come with me right now. And Nynaeve was like, I bet. So they were walking back to the Mother Gwen's house, the lady who sells herbs, right? And when they walked into the house, the first thing that they see is Liandrin, and Liandrin's just there with her sneaky ass face, bro, just smiling and smirking like she always does, cuz and then Leandrin was like, was good, Nynaeve. It was good. And also we see Mother Gwen tied up in a chair, like bro. And then before Nynaeve could do anything, another Black Archer comes by the name of Rihanna, and both Rihanna and Liandrin just absolutely knocks down Nynaeve by using air, like literally. I think she can't even do anything at that point. It's just air going all around her. She's beaten down to the ground, and I think Nynaeve was also shielded, so she can't even use the one power against them. And then we get to find out that Elaine and Gwen had already been beaten down, apparently by these other two Black Archers by the names of Amiko and Joya. And Gwen is completely beaten up to a pulp. Like that girl's unconscious, cuz that girl is unconscious because apparently she gave it her all before they could beat her down, which I actually respect. I respect Gwen a lot for that. And then we also get to find out that Julian had to snitch on them. I feel like Liandrin just did some manipulation or whatever she did. She just did something to kind of turn Julian to the bad side, and that's how he just gave them away. And also they did mention that 13 murderers are on their way, so that means the three girls, or maybe Rand as well, that Bilal guy is planning to turn them into the shadow, because we know that 13 murderers, 13 Black Archers, and I think 13 murderers and 13 Black Archers, if you can have them at a specific gathering or blah blah blah, you can turn anyone to the shadow. So I think that's what Bilal's plan is so far. And things are not looking good. And another thing is Bilal is using this to kind of lure Rand into the stone, because Rand is having those dreams. So he obviously will see a Gwen, Nynaeve and Elaine, and he will probably want to go there with a bigger fire in him to claim Calendar. And then we move on to Matt's point of view. Now here in Matt's point of view, the luck Matt has is absolutely insane. So here, this is what happens, Tom gets sick. So Matt was like, oh shit, man, I can't go on with you. So he looks for the nearest healer that he can find, and luckily by chance he came to Mother Gwen's house. And before he entered, he was like, there's like a whole bunch of horses here, which is kind of unusual here in Ted. People normally don't have that many horses, which was obviously the horses of the three girls, right? So anyway, so he went in, blah blah blah, he met Mother Gwen, and Mother Gwen was like, yep, I can treat him, but Tom just did not want to stay. He just wanted to keep going, which is fair enough. But anyway, the main thing is when Mother Gwen was like to Matt, I know that accent of yours. I actually knew three girls. And Matt immediately what's it called? Not three girls, two girls actually. Mother Gwen said two girls because Elaine doesn't have that accent. Anyway, so Matt immediately knew who she was talking about. She was like, are they? And Nynaeve, Elaine, and Gwen. And Mother Gwen was like, nah, that's not the name they were given, but maybe they could just go on with fake names. And then she pretty much told him everything, but she had to swear that like they had to give each other promises, because obviously if Mother Gwen speaks, she's dead. So she ended up trusting Matt. And then with all the information, Tom ended up staying with Mother Gwen. He didn't want to stay, but he was forced to stay. And then Matt, with all the information, he straight away went to where the three girls were taken. by the Aes Sedai. Because also Mother Gwen was like, Aes Sedai took them. At first Matt was like, oh, Aes Sedai, you know what I mean? So aren't they meant to be like sisters or blah blah blah? They can't do that and that. They have their oath to follow. But then Mother Gwen was like, listen, these Aes Sedai are like no other Aes Sedai. These are ruthless. So that was enough for Matt to literally dip straight away. Now moving to Perrin's point of view. Now Perrin and everyone else, they're still outside everywhere. They were just scouting, blah blah blah, and they heard people saying that, you know, people were having dreams of Rand. The descriptions were pretty much like saying that this guy was Rand. Everyone's having dreams of Rand, so everything's coming together. And then that's where Moraine was like, you, Loyal, and Fail, you guys need to go back to Tar Valon. You guys can't continue any longer. Me and Lan will take care of it from here onwards. And so they were like, oh, fair enough. So when they were walking back to the inn, Fail, she just went a bit too quickly, and then Perrin heard a massive drop. Went after that drop and saw Fail on the ground, and then there was also like a carved head. Oh, how do you say this animal's name? Hedgehog. Far out. Hedgehog. Oh my god. Anyway, my bad. So it was like a toy hedgehog or like a wooden hedgehog. I don't know, but that apparently trapped Fail in Tel Aranriod. Like, I don't know how that worked, but pretty much the innkeeper let a few women walk in. Apparently they were trying to surprise Moraine, so we can assume they were Black Archer, right? And they put that hedgehog in that room to pretty much trap Moraine into Tel Aranriod, because I don't know, because obviously Moraine would be pretty she would be a threat to what's to come later, so they were trying to go for Moraine, but Fail went the first and she fell under the trap. Now Moraine came into conclusion that she and Lan needs to go, and you know, they just have to hope for the best for Fail, which Perrin did not take too seriously. Perrin wanted to help Fail straight away, and then what's it called? He didn't listen to Moraine. Moraine was like, you have to go to Tar Valon right now, and he said no. Like no one is listening to Moraine anymore, bro. Everyone is just opposing Moraine right now. So, and then at the end, what's it called? Moraine was like, fine, do whatever you want. I just need to go right now. So her and Lan went, and that's where Perrin was like to Loyal, can you please guard me while I, you know, try to save her? And Loyal was like, I got you, man. I got you. And that's where Perrin literally lunged on top of Fail, I think, and that's where he entered the world of dreams, the wolf dream. Now, I'm not sure if the wolf dream and Tel Aranriod are the same thing. I have no idea. Maybe they're similar in a way. I'm not sure, but anyway. Then he saw Hopper, and then he asked Hopper for help, and that's where they were hunting. They went hunting for Fail in a good way, not in a bad way. Now, coming back to Matt's point of view, Matt is currently trying to sneak into the stone. So he's like on a roof, and he's trying to sneak in as carefully as he can, and he saw Rand way far ahead, ahead of him. He actually already managed to sneak into the stone, so that's what he saw. But for some reason, this has occurred multiple times. Everyone's thought they saw Rand, but they just dismissed straight away, which is interesting. I'm not sure why. Anyway, so while Matt is trying to do that, he was attacked by a bunch of Aiel. That's the worst thing that could happen, man. And his luck pretty much did not work. The Aiel just cornered him, and yeah, he was just cornered. He couldn't do anything, and that's where he started getting questioned, like, why are you so close to the stone? What is your purpose? Blah blah blah. That's questioned by the leader called Ruak. I'm not sure. Anyway, so he was the leader of the Aiel. I think the guy who Perrin freed was also there. I forgot his name, but yeah, he was also there. And that's where Julian Sander also came, and he kind of was like spying on everyone else at the same time. And then the Aiel was like, what are you doing here? And Julian was like, yo, I think I did something bad. And that's where you know, everyone, you know, just kind of went their own ways. So the Aiel went their own way, and then Matt and Julian ended up working together. Julian was like, you know, I don't mind helping you, blah blah blah. And Matt was like, you know what, fair enough. So Matt, he created a massive distraction or explosion by fireworks, and he went in, but then there were way too many people there, so Julian ended up helping him. They were fighting off a bunch of people, soldiers, even a High Lord at the time, but that was kind of, it is what it is. Like, they managed to get through, and then Julian was like, okay, let me take you to the three girls. I think I know where the prison cell is. That was the main thing. They were trying to save Nynaeve, Gwen, and Elaine. That was the main objective, and that's where Julian came in clutch. He led Matt to the chambers. Now, coming to Gwen's point of view, she wakes up in a cell with Nynaeve and Elaine, and she is traumatized because, you know, this is giving her back, this is bringing back Son-chan. days where she was a prisoner. So, but luckily she wasn't changed, nothing like that. So then she was cooled down. Now, since they were in a cell, Gwen had an idea. She was like, if I go into Telon Riod and find the exact same, what's it called, cell, and try to unlock us from there, maybe it might work. And then they were like, oh, you know, fair enough, we've got nothing to lose. So Egwene, she entered Telon Riod, and then in the world of dreams, she saw the Black Aja Joya, who was currently at that moment of time shielding all three girls. So what Egwene did was she absolutely I don't know, but destroyed her, bro. No, not destroyed. She pretty much beat her with air. She just aired her, beat her, and then she pretty much trapped her. But the thing is, Joya, I think she was half asleep. So it's like she defeated Joya in the world of dreams, but then she also needed to defeat her in the outside world. So they were not, what's it called, unshielded. They were still shielded. So Egwene, she still needed to do more. Now moving into Perrin's point of view, Perrin had multiple attempts to free Fail, but every single time it just didn't work. Like, she just kept disappearing, blah blah blah. I think it took him 3 times to finally free Fail. At the end, he walked in a room and then saw like a hedgehog. A hedgehog, I don't know what it was, but he managed to break it, I think, and that's when he came back to life. And he came back to the same room where Fail had been, like, trapped in, and then he woke up to Fail being completely okay. And then I don't know, the way Fail and Perrin were talking here was like, what's going on here, man? Cause oh my Perrin, oh my blacksmith, I knew you'd be okay, blah blah blah. And then Perrin was like, oh my Falcon, oh bro. I'm like, bro, what the hell? It felt so weird, cause the chemistry between them was always so aggressive. They were always fighting and blah blah blah. And now they're also lovey-dovey, blah blah blah. But you know, maybe I have to get used to it, man. But overall, Fail is saved. I'm happy about that. She's an awesome character. So now coming to the big moment of this part. Rand finally comes to the place where Calendar is. The sword is right there in front of him. It's so bright, and goddamn, it was just right there. And then at that moment, Rand was just doubting himself as being the Dragon Reborn. Like, he still doesn't believe he's a Dragon Reborn, which I was like, interesting. But then came Bilal, the Forsaken that was hyped up. A Forsaken that was hyped up. Oh my god. Anyway, so Bilal wanted Rand to take the sword. I think that was just his plan. He really wanted Rand to take the sword, but I think Rand, he knew something was wrong, so he just didn't take the sword. So Bilal, he made a sword out of black fire, and Rand made a sword out of red fire. So it was pretty much like a sword fight with fire sword, you know what I mean? So they were fighting. Bilal was absolutely overpowering Rand. He was clearly the better swordsman. I think Bilal also had a Heron Mark blade as well, so he is known to be a very good swordsman. And put Forsaken on top of that, he is very strong. What's it called when it comes to swordplay? So he was overpowering Rand, and then without knowing, there was apparently like a battle going around them. It was like Bilal's people and the Aiel, who are, you know, who we later find out are the people of the dragon. They were fighting in the background, and when Rand trips, that's when he noticed. And yo, at the end, Bilal was about to kill Rand. Just before Bilal was about to kill Rand, someone said, "No, stop, whatever." I don't know what she said, but I know it was a she. I knew it was a she. At first, I thought it was Lanfear. I thought Lanfear came in. I was like, holy shit, what is going to happen right now? But then when I heard Moraine's name, I was like, oh yeah, Moraine was meant to be here as well. She's after Bilal. I completely forgot about that. And then Moraine, I was like, and then I thought, okay, fair enough. Moraine, okay, she's nice to die, but the Forsaken are next level, so it'll probably take Moraine and Rand and Lan, by all three of them, to beat this Bilal guy. But no, Moraine one-shotted the crap out of Bilal by using Balefire, the formidable technique. She absolutely dusted him. Like, the Balefire fire disintegrated Bilal. That guy vanished just like that. And then I was like, is that it? Bilal was hyped up for only 2 pages? Okay, fair. Okay, don't get me wrong. That guy's strong. He was overpowering Rand. But if Rand had Calendar, let's be honest, like Rand would have absolutely destroyed Bilal. But at the same time, we never know that was Bilal's plan. But anyway, then Moraine was like to Rand. One thing that he was right about was you taking that sword. And then just before Rand could even do that, Baalzamon, the villain that never dies, the villain that never leaves Rand alone, the villain that comes up at every single ending of every single book, does the exact same thing and comes out in the end of this book. This guy just comes, and before he comes, he absolutely destroys Moraine. Black lightning went all around her. Went all around her. This guy, what's it called, smacked her up against the column and she's unconscious, bro. This guy destroyed Moraine just like that. So at least we know that Baalzamon is insanely next level strong. Until Baalzamon, he tried to take Rand's soul, and apparently Rand also felt it. He felt something go inside of him. So that means could have Baalzamon turn Rand to the shadow at that moment of time. But just before he was able to do it, Rand finally got Calendar in his hand. And when that happened, it's a silent girl first of all, so we know it's overpowered, bro. And Rand just felt super strong. And then when he looked up, Baalzamon was gone. He was on the run, bro. He was on the run. He was sprinting, bro. He was Usain Bolting that shit, bro. That guy was gone, bro. And then when Rand could catch up, Baalzamon turned, like, bent space. He went into a different world. It's like I don't know if he went into Tel'aran'rhiod, to be honest, but I know he went somewhere else. And then Rand, without knowing, he also entered that place, which is in this part, yeah, Rand does a lot of shit without knowing. Now moving to Matt's point of view, Matt comes to just before he enters the cell, he sees Amiko. She's still half asleep. Remember, Gwen didn't completely beat her, and for a second, Matt wanted to help her. I was like, no, Matt, I know you've got a weakness for the females, but you gotta overcome this, man. You have to. And luckily he did. He managed to take the keys, open the cells, and boom, there were the 3 girls. And this part, low-key, kind of disappointed me. All of the 3 girls were ungrateful. They were like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? And Matt was like, what do you mean, bro? I just saved you guys. And, like, even from Nynaeve's standard, I was very disappointed in Nynaeve here. Like, Nynaeve isn't meant to be like that. She's meant to be she's meant to be like a protector, like I don't know. She's like a family person, bro. And to see her, like, dropping to Egwene's level, look, I don't mean to disrespect Egwene. I actually expected that from Egwene. Not really. I kind of expected Egwene to be happy as well. Actually, no, I take that back. Egwene, I was disappointed from all 3 girls because Elaine is kind. Gwen, yeah, she is feisty, but when she sees Rand, Perrin, and Matt, she always gets happy. And Nynaeve is just a warm person in general. To see all 3 girls ungrateful like that kind of annoyed me. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie. Maybe there's a reason to it. If there's no reason, then I'm very disappointed. Anyway, so when Matt saved them, all 3 girls were very fired up to hunt down the Black Archer, which Matt was like, what are you guys doing? Let's get out of here. But the girls are still determined to chase after the Black Archer, so Matt was like, stuff. And now coming back to Rand's point of view. So Rand is in that different dimension. I'm gonna predict it's Tel'aran'rhiod, to be honest. I'm not sure what is happening there, but he's there. And then he can't see Baalzamon, but before he could see him, Baalzamon launches. I'm predicting this is a balefire because it did say white, and we know that balefire is white flame. So Baalzamon launched a balefire right at him, and Rand deflected it by using Calendar. So he used Calendar as a shield, and then the balefire, right? When it touched the seal, it just went like that around Rand, and Rand could feel that heat around his around him, bro. So we know that this technique is insanely ridiculous, bro. But Rand has a Sun Girl with him, so that makes sense. With a Sun Girl, you can deflect a powerful attack like that, especially with on the caliber of Calendar. And then Baalzamon just Usain Bolt that shit again, bro. He was running, bro. That guy's scared, bro. Anyway, so while Rand was chasing him, I think Baalzamon just set up a bunch of traps, bro. it was very weird. Like everything just was not natural. That's what it means. Like Murdrell and Trollocs were just coming out everywhere, and Rand, without knowing, he kind of made them disappear. At first I thought it was legit, but on reread I'm like, nah, it can't be legit. And then gravity just became heavier, like he felt the pressure going down, and without knowing he fixed it. Water turned into fire, the roof turned into dust, the stone turned into stone, the air turned into stone, everything fire went into water. It was just very unnatural, like oxygen turned into nitrogen. I don't know if that's true, but it just seemed very unnatural, and Rand, without knowing, managed to turn it, managed to bring it back to its natural state. And that always confuses me, but fair enough, yeah, he's still on the hunt towards Balzaman. And when Rand finally reaches Balzaman, he can see all of the black cords that's attached to Balzaman. I'm pretty sure it's that Saidin. And I think Rand does something with light or something like that. I think with the sword maybe, to kind of push it back, or just he did something to it, right? And that kind of weakened Balzaman, and that's where Rand took Calendar. Yo, it literally pierced it through this guy's chest. Oh my god, but even I felt that. I felt that shit, bro. I felt that shit. Yeah, I definitely felt that shit. And then I think just before Balzaman dropped to the ground, he was like, "Fool! The great Lord of the Dark can never be defeated." And then after that, he dropped to the ground, and Rand went back to reality. He was not in that different dimension anymore. He was back into where he had originally been, with all the Aiel and all the normal soldiers fighting and stuff like that. And that's where Rand was like, I've done it. I've killed the Dark One. I've killed Shaitan himself. And then Rand was like, but I need to end the killing. I need to do more. I need to become more. And that's where Rand proclaimed himself as the Dragon Reborn. He was like to everyone, listen, my name is Rand Arthur. I am the Dragon Reborn. Everyone stopped fighting. Everyone, even the soldiers that were under Bilal at the start, even the Aiel people, they all went down, and boom. That pretty much confirms that Rand is the... And then moving into Matt's point of view, Matt, he, I think a day had went past, and Matt saw Balzaman's body drop. He saw everything. He saw like the Aiel people all around Rand. He saw a whole bunch of High Lords now trying to get Rand's attention. Rand is pretty much a celebrity right now, because everyone just wants to be on Rand's side. And then he goes to Moraine and the three girls, and they were talking about a lot of stuff, right? Firstly, they found another seal, I think a third one, but this one is interesting. This one was unbroken, and at the start, they're like, oh, since it's unbroken, we're good, right? And then Moraine was like, no, I don't think we're good. I think this still might be a bad thing. I think it... Since we found, I don't know how it works. I think since they found that seal, maybe that's why it's unbroken. I don't know. That part confused me, bro. Like, if it's unbroken, why are they still scared of it? That part is still not making sense to me. I'm not gonna lie. And then Matt was like, "But we've done it, bro. Like, we don't have to do anything else." But Matt just wants to go home, because Matt even ended up naming the Dark One's name. That's when Moraine was like, "How dare you name the Dark One's name, cuz? Do you want his attention on you now? God damn, this guy's so reckless, cuz, bro. Far out, bro." And then I need to chill, bro. I need to chill. And then they came to a conclusion that the body that they had seen dropped was Ishamel. I'm not too certain about that, because I know that Ishamel and Lanfear are one of the strongest, if not the strongest Forsaken of all. And for the strongest or second strongest to die in the third book, it just would not make sense, because normally you'd want to go up through the ranking system, right? You want to go from weakest to strongest, right? Bilal clearly wasn't that impressive, so maybe it makes sense to start off with him. But Balzaman, if he is Ishamel, then I don't know, man. So I predict that he is not Ishamel. You know what I mean? So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Just don't tell me in the comment section below. Let me just find out on my own. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If I'm right, then let me find out. You know what I mean? So now we know that there's 4 more seals to go until the Dark One is officially released from Shoyal Ghul. And we know that the 3 girls, Gwen, Elaine, and Nynaeve, are super determined to hunt down these loose Forsaken and the Black Alja, which kind of shocks Matt. Matt was like, we've done the main thing. Rand has fulfilled the prophecy. Let's just all go home. It's all over with. Now, before that happened, this girl, very interesting. Her name was Berylane. Now, when I first read this live, right, I missed out on this small detail. I read the chat after, and then you guys told me to pick out what she was wearing. Now, she was wearing this hawk thingy, right? A hawk jewelry, I don't know what it was, but she had a hawk on her. And now I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. This is the hawk to Perrin again. So, Perrin has found his falcon. Now, this must be Perrin's hawk. But the main thing was she came with a letter, she gave it to Moraine, and Moraine was a bit surprised. She's like, what's going on? And then she said a whole bunch of stuff like, you know, how the Isle should dine with her, how it's called RAND is it's called needed in this specific council. I'm not sure, it's getting a little political. And then when she left, Moraine opened the thingy, and of course, when I've read the first sentence, I knew exactly who it was. When it said, lose Theron Telemann was mine, he is mine, he will be mine, take care of him for me until I want him. I knew instantly it was Lanfear, and of course at the end it said from Lanfear or whatever. And then Moraine was like to Matt, this ain't over for you either. You blew the horn, remember that shit, man? And Matt was like, shit. Everyone was looking at him like, damn, bro. And then Matt, the only thing he was thinking at the time was, I need to find Tom and get the hell out of here, bro. And yeah, the book just ended off with a whole bunch of chants, you know, about Rand being the dragon. And yeah, that's the end of the Dragon Reborn. The only thing is that I felt like the first 3 books, like I said it earlier, it felt like a prologue. Like everything felt accomplished, but not at the same time. Like Rand, he, you know, fulfilled the main prophecies, but still the Dark One is not defeated, because Rand thinks he defeated the Dark One, aka Balzaman, but we know that the Dark One is not defeated. He is still something much bigger than just a guy with fire in his eyes and mouth. He's so much bigger than that. We know, I know that, you know what I mean? So that is kind of confirmed, but I feel like, you know, it feels like, yeah, it's done, but something big, it's done to tackle something bigger. That's what it felt like for me, the first 3 books. So very excited to start the Shadow Rising. I know that the Shadow Rising is a fan favorite, and yeah, really can't wait to get to the Shadow Rising, man. But yeah, overall this was a pretty solid book. I don't think it's better than the first 2 books. I feel like book 2 is still the best, followed by book 1, and then the Dragon Reborn. I'd give the Dragon Reborn an 8 out of 10. I feel like 8 is good. I just felt like less happened in the middle, and everything was just left towards the end, you know what I mean? Which I'm okay with. It's really good book, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but I feel like the other 2 were better. Now, before we end, let's quickly do the shout out of the week, and today's shout out is Lanfear saying, I love that Perrin working in the Forge scene so much, and how Robert Jordan basically put a full Wikipedia article on how blacksmithing works in it. Perrin deserves some happy, relaxing time. I agree, man. That few pages, it pretty much like what's it called, gave us a step-by-step analysis on what a blacksmith should do. That was quite interesting, and also how Perrin had his moment to relax and so on. So totally agree with that. And that's going to do it, guys. That concludes a wrap-up of the trilogy. Not a trilogy, a trilogy so far. And yeah, cannot wait to get to book 4. If you have any thoughts, let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, give me a massive like. And if you still have not subscribed, what are you guys doing, cuz? Subscribe, man. It's about to get lit, man. It's about to get lit. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next Wheel of Time video. Take care now. Bye.